The Last of Us Part 2 is Naughty Dog's biggest game to date, but just quite how long is it? Here we'll let you know exactly how many hours it took different members of the IGN team to finish the game, and what they prioritized doing with that time. How long is The Last of Us Part 2? Our fastest player finished The Last of Us Part 2 in around 23 hours. Our slowest player spent 42 hours before credits rolled. Everyone plays games differently, so read on for more details about how everyone played, how long it took to reach the credits, and how much extra time it took to scoop up all of those collectibles. How many chapters does The Last of Us Part 2 have? There are 13 chapters in total in The Last of Us Part 2. These range in length considerably though, with some taking place in sprawling open areas which encourage exploration, whereas others are comparatively linear and demand less of your time. Jonathan Dornbush, senior news editor. The Last of Us Part 2 took me about 25 hours to play on normal difficulty. That includes some pretty thorough collecting in the first half of the game, which often diverted me from the main path as I hunted for trading cards, Ellie's journal entries and just generally took in the sights. That certainly added some time to my playthrough, but while I kept an eye out for collectibles during the second half of the game, I was so compelled by the story, as I say in my review, to progress forward that I've left most of the treasure hunting for another day. Simon Cardy, video producer. My first playthrough of The Last of Us Part 2 took me 24.5 hours to complete. I started off slow, especially in chapters 1 and 2, determined to find every artifact and piece of crafting equipment I could. Soon though the story took hold and collectible hunting faded into the background for me as I couldn't wait to get to that next plot point. As the game progressed, the lower my collectible percentage went, but I intend to head back to Seattle soon to spend more time in the places I breezed through before, looking in every dark corner and behind every closed door for shiny objects and most likely, more horrific sights. The Last of Us Part 2 review screenshots. Janet Garcia, Associate Guides Editor. Writing the guide for the TLOU Part 2 meant carefully combing over every area, opening every drawer, and circling the perimeter of every room. While you can definitely run away at times, I chose to kill every enemy, with a preference for stealth and item conservation. This meant battles often involved studying enemy patterns and carefully waiting for the perfect headshot. Additionally, note-taking for directions and encounter tips added to my time as well, so I rolled credits on TLOU Part 2 after about 42 hours. However, writing a guide always means playing a lot slower than a standard playthrough.